In this short demo, we're going to take a look at how we can use Packer to deploy new instances to both vSphere and AWS EC2. Images are a tough thing to manage, especially if you have a lot of them, and Packer is one way that we can manage those at scale. So let's take a quick look at what we can do with a Packer JSON file. So at the beginning of the file, we can start with some variables. Variables might be really handy if you want to pass in like username and password and don't want to store that information inside your file. To make this simple, I've stored ours inside the file, but I've kind of stripped those out so not everybody knows what they are, right? So the section underneath that is the builders section. And in builders, we're going to describe how we're going to clone or deploy a new virtual machine. In this case, this is an Amazon one specifically. So what I'm taking is an existing source AMI, which is an Amazon image, and we're going to clone that and create a new AMI from it. So once we've done that, you'll look down in the provisioners section, and you can see there we're going to run some commands. So after I clone my original image into a new one, I'm going to run some commands to update it. In this case, I'm just doing some simple yum updates, but you could do additional patching, you could install software, you could make configuration changes, really whatever you want to do. At the end of this, it'll create a new AMI and give it a new name. And that's the end of this one. We can also slip over and look at a vSphere version. And what you'll see here is something very similar. So we've got a variables section at the beginning. Again, it's empty. Under that, I got a builders, and the builder type is different. We're going to actually clone a new machine in VMware Workstation. And after we clone that, we're going to go down and run some additional provisioners. Now here you'll notice I've got the exact same provisioners that I've got for my other machine in AWS. So here we can keep things almost identical. We're going to update our machines in the exact same process. So our AWS machines will look exactly like our vSphere machines. The difference is after that, we're going to have a post provisioner section. And down here, what I'm going to do is we're going to use the VMware OVF tool, which Packer knows how to use. And we're going to take the machine that we've cloned, updated, and then we're going to upload it into vCenter so that we can use it in vSphere. So that's the difference between the two modules. Now let's do some building, shall we? So first off, let's take a look at what we've got in our VMware Workstation. Here you can see I've got a CentOS machine, and it's powered off, and it's not really doing much right now. Let's go do some Packer. So in the command line, the first thing we want to do is validate our JSON file. So to do that, we'll run Packer validate, and then the name of our JSON file. And our vSphere Packer JSON file validated successfully. Now all we got to do is do that again, but this time we're going to change validate to build. And off we go. So now you can see we're opening up VMware Workstation, we're cloning the machine. And now Packer's waiting for the machine to come up so that it can SSH into it and run the rest of our updates. We've connected through SSH, and now we're going to run a script to run the rest of our updates. These are those yum updates. Now we're done with the machine, we're powering it off, we're cleaning things up, and once this is done, we'll do the post-provisioning action to package up this machine and upload it into vSphere. And now you can see once we cleaned up our virtual machine, Packer is now uploading the machine to vSphere. And you can see that we've got the deploy OVF template task going and our target of Packer VM. And once it's completed, we should see Packer VM in our inventory. And you can see that the build was completed successfully. Now let's go and try our AWS machine. First, let's take a look over at an EC2, and you can see I've got one terminated instance because I've tried this before, but there's nothing really running in EC2 right now. We'll open up our command prompt again, and let's test out our AWS Packer file. It also validated successfully, so let's run our build. And here we go. So we're waiting for our instance to show up. You can see we've got a new instance that's being built. Now it's running and we're waiting for SSH to become available. Now we've connected to SSH and we're going to run our provisioners. Provisioners have finished running and now the instance should be stopping. And we can see that in the EC2 console already. The machine stopped and now we're creating the AMI from that machine. And our build finished and we've terminated our machine. So if we look in the console, we should see all of our machines are terminated. And if we look in the AMIs, we've got our new CentOS machine with today's stamp. I hope this simple demo has helped you understand how you can use Packer to update your templates and AMIs in both vSphere and Amazon EC2. Thank you for watching.